This week on BlazerTag, amazing road trips. Is
Mostly.
Nurk going to get traded? And we have the free throw guy. And there's beer, too.
Yeah.
All right.
Yay, drinks.
Hi, Rob.
Woo. And water.
Episode 13. Here we are.
Here we are, 13. Lucky number 13, which...
Yeah. No bad juju.
Should I refer to you as Rob or the free throw guy? Do you like the free throw guy in this show, or are you tired of it?
On this show, let's go free throw guy.
Free throw guy it is.
Free throw.
I'm
So is
wearing
that it's Mr. Guy then?
Now, should I be like the free throw guy, or should I just refer to you as free throw guy?
Probably just free throw guy, not no the.
Okay.
There's no the in your title.
No, I'm not Ohio State.
Do you get sick and tired of this free throw guy thing, or do you just eat it up?
I still eat it up a little bit, and I love our team, and that's really it's all about having fun and being a good fan.
Well,
Being a
good
good fan's
times.
good. Hey, you sound like you just took a shot of caffeine.
Or it sounds like you just watched the most deflating game of the week.
Yes, I know.
We were all excited about this podcast 20 minutes ago.
Yeah, we all just came off watching that Timberwolves game, and yay, we were all filled with hope and optimism. Sorry, you're going to get the sad sacks that we are right now.
The losses suck.
Yeah, so one of us, me, Brandon, and Kennedy, decided it'd be a good idea to finish the game out before the show, really raise the spirits. We're going to go into this lead.
We had the option.
We
to
were
pause
looking
at
so
halftime.
good.
Yeah, four games into the road trip, breaking the having the season league record for road game wins.
Words.
And words are hard. And sure
Words are
enough,
hard.
we lose by 1 point, and we're extremely deflated. It's as if all the progress of the entire week went from being this exciting, we're in the power rankings, to we lost the fucking fourth game.
And I was going to say, really, I mean, had this not happened, it would have been one of those what a difference a week makes. Because a week ago, we all wanted to kill ourselves and or each other. And then we were feeling great 15 minutes ago.
Yeah.
Blazers were leading, probably going to take the fourth in a row. Life's good.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's what you get for leaving Turner in late in games, but I mean that's a topic for later on.
Well, as noted, we're going to officially welcome the free throw guy in the studio here.
Hello, sir.
Hello, gentlemen.
Rob,
Good evening.
free throw
Thank you
man.
very much for
and
having me
ladies, because
tonight.
we have 18% women in this show.
Wow, that is not a
Hello,
demographic I thought that
18%.
we would.
18%. That's good.
18% of our viewers are women.
Yes.
Well,
Um,
and or listeners.
Well, we're married, most of us.
Yeah, so that counts.
Not
that,
Brandon.
That,
Yes. And though we can't determine.
that counts for 3, but we have almost 500 of you that for some reason want to listen to us every week. So
And growing.
I think
Yeah.
3 and 500 that doesn't equate to 18%.
Hey,
if my
tell your
math is right,
friends.
Bob.
Tell your friends. Tell your wife.
Lock up your daughters. No, that came out wrong. I don't know.
That is the wrong political climate for that statement, kind sir.
Okay, beer bets.
As the person with 3 daughters, you said that.
Anyways,
Oh, boy.
I believe somebody won this week in beer bets.
I wonder who it was. Mr. Bringing it up immediately.
So,
What was our beer bet last week, Ryan?
oh, shut up.
Ryan, how are you feeling last Monday? Because the beer bet was how many games would we win out of the next 3? And how are you feeling, Ryan? Ryan, how are you feeling last week?
You know what? I'm just take your damn freaking beer. It's
That was,
missing 2 because you got a little greedy up front before the show, but you know what? Just at the same point in time, I'm out, so hurry up and bequeath me my friend beer.
I got you a bottle of
Yeah,
You gonna drink an IPA?
yeah.
Oh,
You're
man.
not gonna drink it. I'd offer you a beer, but
Pass through.
There we
Take
go.
one down.
Oh, man. Anyways,
straight
yes.
vodka for the free throw guy.
So the beer
pure
bet,
vodka.
going
That's
into this last week was the number of wins that we were going to get in a week. So we had 3 games, and it was based off of coming off a horrible homestand and seeing as that we live streamed the Warriors game the last week, that loss. I was going to give them that they would win the Heat game and lose the next 2.
And that was a fair, painful, emotional thought.
Yes, and it bit me in the ass in the best way possible. I mean, I am glad that they eked out all 3 wins.
I think we all are.
Yeah,
But
I mean, I was stuck landing with the 2 after you 2 had already picked, and I thought my odds were pretty good. And then after we won the first 2, I got a little nervous, but also it was one of those win-win things, right? Because last game, if we win, I lose the beer bet and don't get the beer. But hell, 3 games straight after was it 4 straight losses? 5
Yeah,
straight losses?
yeah. But,
after my heart being ripped out of my chest and seen beating slowly to a final stop in front of me, yeah, I'll take the
I'm also making
replacement
this
surgery.
proclamation. Neither one of you two are allowed to buy me hef for any more of my beer bet winnings. Because I just decided to actually start looking at the prices on everything. And you all are winning $12 beers for every $9 six-pack I am. If I want to go back and do the math on this...
It's just because we're consumers and we understand the prices of beer. So
Yeah, well, guess what?
If you're gonna win a 6-pack and you get to pick what 6-pack you get, why are you going with half? I've wondered that the whole time.
Because it's my go-to beer, but I'm throwing
The
it
locals
out. I'm
beer.
throwing it out there now. I'm on the fresh squeeze train.
Ooh, okay.
Well, Winco sells it for $5.57.
I was going to say non-Winco brand, asshole.
No, this is Winco. They sell this at Winco.
You can also go the Costco
Your ass
Kirkland route.
goes to Safeway and spends $12 on beer.
No, actually, it goes to the tobacco and liquor store up.
Oh, the
off
tobacco
street.
and more.
Yes.
Total Wine.
No.
No?
The tobacco and more. That's about like a mile away from here.
There is actually a place called Tobacco and More.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Still in this era.
Yeah, when you make that hard left onto 49th.
Okay. As a guy who loves cigars, you would think I would know that, but
they don't have cigars unless you're a Swisher fan.
So,
I am. Are you familiar with Paul's Cigars in Vancouver?
oh yeah,
John Paul, owner
Yep.
of it's a really good friend of mine. So yeah.
What I'm saying
So-
is go there, name drop free throw guy, and we get.
Oh
some
yeah,
cheap
no,
cigars.
definitely, yeah, no. Go name drop free throw guy at Paul's Cigars, and they have 3 convenient locations.
You heard it here first. 15% off all cigars.
I thought it was 95% off.
Either
Paul's
or.
Cigars,
Paul Cigars, the greatest place in town for cigars.
3 convenient locations in the Portland metro area.
Oh
Get it
man,
on
that was
the
a powerful
corner of
ad.
Highway 217 and Shoals Fair. Oh, sorry, wrong thing.
That's the Shane Company. That's out where I live.
I
They
think
got
that
like the NPR of all of like endorsements. Yes, at Paul's Cigars.
whoever
3
wants to give a
convenient
shit will
locations.
shell your shit. There we go.
In the Portland metro area.
You know what though? Despite the fact that this game was pretty fucking awful, well, it was a great game until
great.
we blew it, and we actually were joking about it. How if the Blazers going to write any book or any how-to video, it's how to blow a fourth quarter lead.
Oh man,
I know exactly how to do that.
Yeah.
So do the Blazers.
Experienced.
Yes. However, you have a lot of contributions to like, well, actually, I have a fun question. And it's outside of the robot questions.
Yeah, all right.
What was the best game where it came down to a free throw that you felt like you stopped?
Oh,
Best of all time.
Okay, the one that I truly know in my mind. We were playing Denver, and Danilo Gallinari, I think, had hit 12 free throws in a row, and he was shooting his 13th free throw, which would have put them up by 4. But I really got into him talking about how he hadn't missed one all night, and I was like, well, by the numbers, percentage-wise, you're supposed to miss the next one. There's really nothing we can do. And I know, and I was like, and the best part is, because you're up 3 and you're going to miss this next one, it's going to cost you the game. And then B. Roy went down and hit a 3 to tie it at the buzzer. We went into overtime and ended up winning.
Nice.
So
There
that
you
one
go.
I remember
Did
clearly.
you physically interact with him at all, or did you just talk about that, speculate?
I mean, enough to where I chatted with him, and he was giving me grief for giving him grief.
Okay, on that note, I want to know the most highbrow player that has ever thrown shade your way. Did you ever piss off a Kobe or LeBron?
Oh, Maury Stoudemire, yeah. When we played Phoenix, long time ago in the playoffs.
oh yeah, that's the
Oh, I
Nash
actually
era.
think I remember this story.
I there was a series of Amari going back and forth and other free throws and stuff, and we were giving each other grief, and I finally gave him a line from the movie Top Gun. I don't know if you guys are familiar with the movie Top Gun.
Yeah,
Never
there's
heard of it.
it has
Great
exactly
volleyball
one
movie.
guitar
Great
riff.
volleyball
It's all
movie.
about-
The
Seth
entire
Rogen in it?
movie.
Right, yeah, the whole thing's about volleyball. And motorcycle riding. But no, I gave him the your
Banging
ego
Gully
right.
McGillis.
Yeah, right. Your ego writes checks your body can't cash. And then he turned around and was like, what? So then I stood up and said it again and pointed at him like this as I did it. And he goes, sorry, ladies and gentlemen, I'm just going to say word for word what he said. It's not adult or child friendly. It's
None
only
of our
adult
show is.
friendly.
You're
Yeah,
fine.
don't worry. There's a baby crying
This
5
is
feet behind us.
This is a quote. He said, "Don't fuck with me, you little bitch." And then the ref looked right at him, looked sort of over at me, looked back at him. T. Couldn't believe it. And I just stood there with the slow clap. I was like, "You're fantastic. Look
That
at
is
you."
awesome.
And that one, that I know I got him. And
Nice.
he was,
Oh, that's beautiful.
yeah,
To be a fly on the wall there, or a fly in the stadium.
yeah.
And folks, if you do pick up a baby crying, it's only because we lost against the T-Wolves. Nothing more, nothing less.
And
It's
Green's
just
child
happening.
is still upset and traumatized by it.
Oh, he's having a hard
It's actually
time.
a Baby Gap photo shoot in Studio A. So
That's
Vocal
what we
cords
get
are
for being
working.
Studio B.
It's a vocal cord check. Everything's functional.
And also, I would like to point out for anybody who doesn't catch this on YouTube, we decided to deem this as the Christmas episode. So Brandon and I are currently rocking our Christmas suits, which I still feel as though me and you need to go out to dinner by ourselves just wearing these.
I'm not
I
going anywhere
feel
by myself with
you
you.
got to go. You guys got to go to
No.
a steakhouse in
Being
those.
homeless. I look classy.
Oh, it's the same
Wearing
damn
the
suit.
same suit, just different colors.
It's how you wear the suit.
You're wearing a dirty white t-shirt or V-neck t-shirt under it. I'm at least wearing a polo.
And it might have a barbecue stain somewhere.
Marco.
And Green's over there rocking a Christmas sweater that I only got the concept of about 5 minutes before we started recording.
We've been hanging out for an hour
I
and a
expect
half.
Nothing less than a free throw guy T-shirt.
Yeah, got it.
Got it.
It was actually a Kevin Garnett rookie card being burned. So, yeah, with flies on it and such. So
That's awesome.
That's a beautiful thing.
yeah,
So, moving into this week's conversations here.
Ooh, power
rankings.
Power rankings. It's power time. Hey,
Power,
remember last week when we hated the world and we were ranked down at 14?
Yeah, no clue how the world decided to love us again.
1 week, 3 wins. All of a sudden, where are we at, boys?
8. Oh, you're gonna guess?
I was gonna guess. I
Oh,
didn't know.
sorry.
Oh, man. Hey, free throw guy.
I heard it was 8. I was gonna guess 10, but
Yeah.
8.
No,
I'll take 8.
Week 9, when we sucked, we were at 14. And in the consensus of all things, as we've said before, we abide by ESPN. But in the consensus of all power rankings, the Blazers have cracked the top 10, and ESPN has graced us with number 8.
Now, T-Wolves are at 7.
Thank
which
you,
tonight
ESPN.
would have been a
It
fun win.
would have been nice to maybe, push ourselves up an inch, but
That's what she said.
Yeah. Just an inch? Well, maybe for you.
Oh boy, wasn't
okay.
last week's episode? That's what she said.
It was.
Maybe it's time to make a new meme this
That's
week.
what he said. No, I don't know.
Well,
I think this episode is going to be free throw guy related. So guy. I can't
I'm
even
sorry,
speak.
words?
Yeah. Words are difficult.
we
nasal.
got the game's worth of alcohol in our system before this episode instead of during the episode as we normally do.
Definitely
Yeah,
drink.
there was a beer named Sprinkles.
It's true. I had most of it. Brandon had a
I
little
was drinking
bit.
One named Nipple. Oh, it's triple.
Triple. It's
Wishful thinking for
it's a
nipples.
Belgian ale. I like classy beers. You gonna hold that against me?
Yeah, maybe not.
No.
So did you
As
watch
the
games
hef
this
drinker.
Yes. Saw the Miami and Orlando games. So, and then obviously most of the Minnesota won tonight, or a portion of the Minnesota won tonight.
week? Well, going into recaps, then you can contribute here.
Yeah.
Hey,
So,
Miami game.
let's
That
bring
was a
it on.
game.
Oh.
The Miami Heat, the 102-95 win.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's-
broke
I
the
mean,
5-game losing streak.
Yeah.
And first start for the now one defeated. Actually, no, he's undefeated as a starter.
As a starter,
Yes.
yeah.
Zach Collins.
ZC.
So how you feeling? Heat game.
I mean, pretty good. I mean, you gotta figure out a way to get off a losing streak. Miami's not necessarily a team that would give us a lot of trouble, but
Wayne Ellington.
right, Wayne Ellington.
Sorry.
So I mean, just the fact that it went well. They came down to Dragic basically at the end. We stopped him, and that was the end of that. So it was. It's exactly what you need to end a losing streak and start something good on the road, which I'm really excited the Blazers have been able to play so well on the road this year.
Oh yeah, good old East Coast, like about as East Coast as you can get.
Yeah, no, that's
To go Miami, play and win,
Right.
and then continue the whole run.
yeah.
My thoughts exactly on that. And again with Collins starting, I didn't give Collins much credit when this season, before the season started, I had him ranked pretty low in my own personal rankings, but
Oh yeah, that was our pilot episode. Don't go back and listen to it.
Yeah, that
was
thing will
ranking
get burned. You'll
ranking
never
all
find
the
it.
players on the team, best to worst. And yeah, you had Collins pretty low. I had him a little higher, but I don't think any of us had him in the top 10.
I had him at 14.
Absolutely not. I think I had him at like 13 or 14 somewhere in there, but I mean, still bottom of the barrel.
I had Swanigan. I think did I have it 5?
Yeah, you had Swanigan really high.
Side note, I'm still standing by my Shabazz Napier at number 5 as a
he's-
solid pick.
No, you had Connaughton. Oh no, you had Shabazz. Yeah.
I had Shabazz because you
had
gave me
Connaughton.
crap for the
You had
next-
Connaughton and
12.
Shabazz
I had
both
12.
too high, and I think at the end of the year when we review this stuff, they'll still be
I'm
too
gonna be
high,
a fucking
but you're
genius.
going to be closer than any of us on those two guys.
Oh yeah.
So Collins got the start because Nurk was still out with his right ankle injury. And once again, beginning of that game, Blazers just love to frickin' dig themselves into a deep ass hole that they got to try to climb out of later. You know, and I made the little cough joke earlier, but Wayne Ellington, what did he open up? Hitting his first 7 threes or something like that?
Yeah.
Oh man.
It was a lot. And that's more than someone like Wayne Ellington should be hitting on us. It's like, if anything, get the ball out of his hands. If he hits 3 or 4, get the ball out of his hands. Make someone else attack you and move it around.
But defense?
Well, I mean, and not even defense, just make a shift to where where it's not advantageous for them to have that guy hitting shots.
where I abide-
Put a better defender on him.
That's where I abide by the old school method of like, you're not going to beat us, and you just send in the last guy on the tail end of the bench to do nothing but spear the guy into the knees.
Yep.
Just hard foul.
Hard
You're
fouls.
not going to get it. Don't
Yep.
worry. We'll all
Oh,
chip in
man.
$1,000 to pay your fine kind of thing.
Yep.
But send a message and get the ball out of his hands.
That which brings me to a question. Do you guys remember when there used to be enforcers on teams? Because who would be our enforcer
Sadly,
right
Leonard.
now?
Myers Leonard.
I feel your answer because Myers is the most likely to cause a fight,
This is true.
which is weird to me. I don't know that he's the most likely to win a fight.
He's got
on
the
our team.
broadest shoulders on the team. I mean, Ed Davis is stacked. So, like, if I had to pick the player that I wanted to be in the fight and that could win it, I'd pick Davis because that man is ripped to all heaven. But Leonard has the world's widest shoulders, so I feel as though he could have the best intimidating walk up to somebody.
DeAndre Jordan.
Yeah.
No,
You
we
know-
said guys on our team.
Oh, guys on our team. Okay.
You know,
Fair enough.
Not Jake Lehman.
not Jake Lehman.
Not Jake Lehman.
No,
No,
that man.
Jake Lehman's not going to get into a fight if it's going to fuck with his hair.
No.
No, man. I mean, yeah, he battles with his hairdryer pretty regularly.
Swanigan's not even on the team anymore, so I mean,
Yeah, side
You know-
note, if anybody has seen Caleb Swanigan, there's a 1-800 number I'm sure you can call, but at least just text us.
Actually,
or
I did.
message us or
I did
email
see
us and let
Caleb
us know.
Swanigan. I
He
saw him
was
recently.
on the bench?
No, he was on the side of a milk carton.
Okay. Is that the Amber Alert I saw on my way over here?
It might have been.
Okay.
the Buick, Le Sabre, Le Sabre.
Yeah, where did
Is
he
that the
go? Because
convertible,
Collins getting the start over him just completely baffled me. And
But
No, it
Collins-
didn't.
Collins is at least on the roster.
Well,
Swanigan's not even on the roster at this point.
Yeah.
I don't see
Oh,
him
he's-
anywhere in
yeah,
the box
side
score.
note for everybody
not
listening,
even
you go
on
back
the
and you
box
look
score.
at the box scores for like the last 4 games. He's not even listed at all.
yeah, but I hate to say it.
Is he listed as an inactive?
No,
No.
not,
not
even
even listed.
inactive. Not a
gonna bring
coaches
it up
did not
right
play.
now.
Are you?
It's actually
You're pulling up
concerning.
tonight.
Just-
While you're pulling that up, I will say though, as much as I love the upside of Swanigan, Collins has proven himself to be a more consistent, ongoing player out of the two of them. He regularly shows up, and more than anything, I mean, well, Swanigan will have higher highs. Mm-hmm. Collins, well, actually, I don't know anymore if Swanigan has the higher highs, but Collins definitely way avoids the lower lows that you get with Swanigan. A lot of the dumb fouls, the bad passes,
Well, he's
just
got
the
he's
rookie
got the dumb
mistakes.
foul, but at least he's very good at the yin and yang. If his offense isn't there, he's at least because I think what was it? Not this Timberwolves game, but the last game, he had like 2 points, but like 11 or 12 rebounds or something like that.
Charlotte game. I believe.
Yeah, the Charlotte game. And so at least you're out there making contributions, throwing your body on the floor. I think he had 2 steals as well from just some tapaways or something like that. But, if your shot's not there, you're still making an impact in the game. And that's all you can ask. That's something that we all thought Swanigan would do in the beginning of the season, but it's if his shot was not falling, he kind of disappeared and made a lot more dumb plays.
Yeah, I think he's doing the rookie try hard thing. And, when you're not coming in as the solution rookie, like a guy like Damian Lillard or like they're attempting to do with Lonzo Ball.
Who?
Caleb Ball? LaMarcus Ball?
I don't know who that is.
LaMelo? Isn't he in jail?
Oh.
No, they're going to Europe, right?
Oh, yeah, that's right. They're sending the
LeBron
whole
Ball?
family over to Europe.
Yeah,
That's
they're going
right.
to Europe.
With the head coach that does nothing but when he pressures his player into buying meat out of the trunk of his car after games.
All right, if we're gonna go a little forward in this, can we just talk about that Magic game? And really, the only thing I want to talk about is how has no one on the entire Orlando Magic staff,
Told that
none
man
of
to cut his
them,
hair.
told Peyton to get a fucking haircut?
I mean,
it's got to be in the line of sight when he shoots.
I mean, it's drooping. I mean, it's down here.
So,
and like it,
I've given him a
It's
nickname.
like he's wearing a hat all the time. It's like he's got a bill for a hat. Constantly.
Oh yeah,
I do not call him by his name. I call him Penis Head. That is his name. Anytime I have sent any sort of angry text about him making a good play, anytime I've laughed at him, I'm like, haha, Penis Head did stupid things.
But more impressively, though, I want to know how he keeps his hair that intact during the game.
A lot of work.
Give that hairdresser
work.
a raise.
I've got really thick hair, and I've got an
Shut up.
ungodly amount of product just to keep my swoop over, and that's pushing it. Like I have a handful of product,
and you're not even sweating while you're doing
He works
it.
hard with that thing. You can tell he's got a team of people
gotta be,
working on
what
that.
Do you think he
He's a
takes
team.
more time on pre-game? His hair or his shooting warm-up?
His hair,
Definitely
of
not
course.
playing defense like Gary Payton.
Well, I'm fine with that.
Yeah, no, his hair is for sure.
Yeah.
He's got. I think he's a small. Staff.
Actually, he does, though, speaking of Gary Payton, have a glove, but it's covered in hair product, and he just runs it over the hair in halftime.
It's like pitching too, right? You gotta have that in your hair,
Something there that you can get that on.
Do a little spin off. Didn't Shaq get fined for something like that some years ago?
What, some pine tar?
I vaguely remember something.
Like having product in his hair that he would rub before he would take free throws to try and make him go in better.
Yeah. Something
Grip
sticky.
better. Well, moving right along.
grip.
So, yeah, that...
We won that game.
Yeah, we did, and Nurk came back from injury and killed it with. So I mean, I thought he would kind of either completely excel or totally disappear. 9 points, 11 rebounds, not a bad game back.
Yeah, almost a double-double.
I'm gonna maintain my one complaint with Nurk so far this season, and that is he slightly addressed it tonight in the Timberwolves game, but dunked the fucking ball. If I see any more of this Euroball finesse, I'm gonna roll it off my fingers as I'm going to the cup. Dude, you are like freaking 7 feet tall and damn near 300 pounds.
7 foot.
Listen, I will let him keep doing that Euro ball finger roll thing he does all season long as he just stops shooting from further than 6 feet from the basket.
I did hear you cuss at him numerous times tonight when he was a step in from the 3-point
Well,
line.
not only that, but even when he went out the end of the game tonight, not to hammer home on the fresh wound, but Damian Lillard went to drive in, and he was out there to set a fake screen that
Way
he didn't
too early.
commit to. Yeah, way too early. And then he stayed out there when Dame drove in instead of following in and crashing the board. A crashed board could have maybe gotten an offensive rebound and given us the game instead of letting the Timberwolves get the ball back and ultimately get the go-ahead point. That's what kills me with Nurk more than anything. Just stay by the hoop. You're a center. It's your job. You have one.
Ish in today's NBA. You either need to be a completely inside dominant force or be able to drag your defender out and hit from 3. And it's just how it goes. Rob,
And he
thoughts?
cannot make threes.
Oh no, free throw guy.
If Nurkic could hit deep shots, I'd be all for it. But I don't necessarily see him as decent as say Marc Gasol is at hitting a 3. If you see Marc Gasol take a 3, you don't necessarily feel bad about it, But
Yeah.
Nurkic, you're like, oh, obviously last second, someone has the ball, we need to shoot. That's a different thing. But
Never Nurk.
Gasol's at least-
taking a 3 out of a set basically
Yeah.
is, or he doesn't roll, he'll pop. I'm like, he's not a pick and pop guy. He's
Yeah.
got to roll and be at the hoop.
Well, Gasol is 33% for the season on threes, and
Right.
Nurk is 0.
Well, and speaking of, I forget if we talked about it last week, but there was that Gasol for Nurk trade rumor.
I heard about that. Was it with Harkless or
It was. I think I heard Turner.
Turner? Well,
It was basically a
if
salary
anybody
cap
wants
dump,
It was Nurk, Turner, and Davis.
which
I didn't hear Davis, but I heard.
No,
Turner.
it's because Davis is also on an expiring contract.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it was
I
to make the
Davis.
money work.
Either way.
Man, I wouldn't want to give up Davis, but if it was Nurk and Turner and something,
I mean,
And that's
Nurk,
kinda-
Turner, and a taco.
yeah,
Well-
or Chalupa. Do they do
Oh.
chalupas?
No, no.
Do chalupas even exist anymore?
I don't
I
think
actually
so.
had a
So, no.
chalupa yesterday.
Oh.
Right.
I-
Still,
It's-
it still exists.
It
Taco Bell?
I went to
I'm
Taco
stopping
Bell.
at Taco Bell on my way home. Leave me alone, asshole. I need my.
My
so
my
I
wife
found the
ordered
best
one.
thing ever: the steak soft tacos. I didn't know those
Oh,
were
yeah.
a thing until my wife accidentally got them in her order.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, "I didn't order these." They kept arguing with me. Somehow,
wrapped in
somehow I
red.
got them for free, and I was like, "All right, fine, I'll eat them." I took a bite, and I was like, "This is gold. I'm never ordering a beef soft taco again."
No, a few years ago when I wasn't fat, obviously a few years ago, when I was counting calories pretty hard, that was my Taco Bell go-to order. Is they have it's like the steak. There's some stupid fake Spanish word like sofrita, whatever. Where it's
fresca?
like fresca,
There
steak
you go.
fresca tacos. That was my go-to Taco Bell order because I could get 2 of those. It'd be less than 300 calories, I think. And I'd feel like I ate Taco Bell, so my mind would be at ease.
Hey, as the guy who's been like eating 5 dinners a night lately because he just can't.
Well, you're also pregnant, so.
Based off my diet lately, it wouldn't surprise me.
It surprised me.
So
Speaking of a couple
No,
years
no, no.
ago, you know who I miss, but I don't? Nick Batum.
I don't miss Batum.
I personally do miss Nick Batum because he's a good friend of mine. But
Now I feel bad for
some
Wow,
shots.
because I was totally
some
getting down on
shots-
him, so I'm just backing away from that.
Some shots that he would take in certain game situations
Well,
were
it
not
was-
advantageous for our team. But I loved him as like Nick. I love you, man. I love you.
I will.
I have one thing to say about Batum is that when I got to go on the court for like the 6-man whatever like they
Oh,
give
the
you
T-shirt exchange participants.
and I got Batum's T-shirt, so I have a signed Batum, so I have to give him
I
credit.
have 3
But-
signed Batum shoes.
No one cares about you.
You guys are collectors,
4
man.
game warm up pants, but that's so the very first time that he was like selling his house, like near the tail end of his contract, and going
Literally
back
everything he
and
owns
going
is
back to France with his
Right.
so he went and did some sort of event down in a store in Lake Oswego, and he's like, everything I'm not bringing with, I'm signing, and you can just come in and get
Wow.
for donations to a charity.
okay.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like that bought your
Lingerie.
entry in.
Okay.
And so I went down there, I threw up like $100, and I walked out with 3 autographed shoes, a crap ton of game worn stuff,
Wow,
and,
that's awesome. That's awesome.
which I still
yeah.
have to this day.
So I will say, as far as Nick Batum goes,
I tried to wear those pants.
watching
They
that
go up
Hornets
to here.
game. The
Yeah.
I honestly, you know what I felt like watching him play, because he was playing pretty good most of the time with
Oh,
moments of.
fantastic third quarter. What did
Yeah.
he put up? Like 15, 18 points
like
in that third?
Yeah.
I felt like if you dated a girl, say in high school or college,
Okay.
I hate
and
all
then
that.
you
Thinking about it.
randomly end up like just stumbling upon her profile on Facebook,
Uh-huh.
and you're like, oh, I wonder how she's doing, and you look and it's like, oh, she's lost weight. oh, her hair's way better than it used to be. It seems like she actually has social skills now.
Wow.
Oh,
Yeah, throw
everything,
it out there.
weird.
was
Like
the-
that was Nick Batum in
Yeah,
this
that same
game.
scenario ended
All
my
of a
first
sudden,
marriage for
Christine's
me. Just throwing it out there,
So you were gonna say something.
I was just gonna say, Nick Batum is, as far as I know, the only NBA player who has an autographed free throw guy shirt.
Oh.
So did you shill that on him, or did he seek you out?
The first time he came back after he got traded, I had a shirt that was, because as some people know or not, I had shirts made for every single game. So I
And
knew
wasn't it that no shirt was ever worn twice?
no shirt was ever worn twice. So for that night, I had one that was made for Nick, and after the game, he came over and I gave it to him. And he gave me his jersey and that sort of thing. So
Oh, that's
That worked
awesome.
Nice, that's badass.
So it was cool. He's a good dude. I miss him here, but the team is the team, and we're trying to have a goal of what's on the jersey, not who's in the jersey.
Well,
That's why the
Touche
jersey I
there.
own has no number and no name on the back.
There you go. Rip City. That's all we need.
Rip
There
City,
you go.
baby. So, shot of the week now? Are we going to...
Are we ready for shot of the week?
I was born ready for the shot of the week, I think.
You were never ready for shot of the week.
I'm never ready for the shot of the
Oh,
week.
man.
Actually, I gag at my shots still.
Well, we're here. And we also got
Reaching
Christmas
around
shot
here.
glasses.
Christmas shot glasses.
Yeah, I got them at a
Yeah.
White Elephant gift exchange a few years ago.
And
And
for all of you listening, that's free throw guys drinking straight vodka.
'Tis the season to get wasted.
Yeah, I got reindeers humping on mine.
and I have
Mine
elves
says-
humping.
Mine is Holly Jolly Hammered.
The show I work for, his suit is that. So he has a suit similar to like this, but it's
reindeers humping.
Oh, that's wonderful.
elves humping
Reindeers.
over here?
Yeah. that's nice. I like that one. That's cool.
I mean, this is the epitome of class.
So, Brandon, you want to cue up the shot of the week?
I don't
over
know if
there?
I have it on here. Do I? Is there
There's a link.
Oh man, he's
Is your
going
sound
down.
off?
There it is. There it is.
If your sound's
He's
not off,
clicking
you're
a
gonna
link.
hear a lot of yelling.
We're going to the future.
Oh, wait,
All right, so this shot of the week is we're going back to the Miami Heat. game.
Oh, that's pretty.
We're gonna just loop that a few times. And for all of you guys watching on YouTube, I'll have the shot of the week.
Can you actually put it in the corner
I'm
that
gonna-
you point to this year?
I'm gonna put it over
This
here
time?
in Whitledge's crotch this time.
Okay,
Oh,
going over
my
there.
man spreading.
Yep. So man,
But
spread
no,
away.
so we are going with the Blazers are down, and they're just starting to make their comeback.
Honestly, like I'm totally like on Twilight. There's like Team Edward and Team what's his face.
Oh God, I just found my Christmas present for you.
There you go. I'm on Team Ed right now.
You're
So
Team Ed.
I'm
Team Ed Davis.
Yeah.
That
Yes.
is.
Ed
So,
Davis.
so no, this is
Not,
at
not
the
Jacob. Jacob. There it is. I knew I'd come to it. Okay.
Not Team Pat, though. I am on Team Pat because it's a hell of an assist. We got Pat.
Pat at the
Gets the
Pat,
ball, dishes it over to Ed, and just slams
yeah, no,
it home.
So Pat Connaughton got the hockey assist right there. Hit McCollum. McCollum found the cutting Davis.
oh yeah.
And wide open dunk.
And Davis has been contributing so much.
And that is part of the reason why I picked this for shot of the week. There were a couple other better shots. I mean, CJ had a dunk himself, and we're glad to see that he can still jump.
He can do it.
But Ed Davis, again, the janitor. Again, let's get this freaking trending. I want that nickname to stick. Is doing amazing things, especially even in the lost night with the Timberwolves game. He cleans up everything for this team. He's a hustle guy. He's the high energy guy. Doesn't matter if it doesn't show up in the stat line. You know he put his heart and soul into a game.
He's
So,
there are
based-
glue guys, and there are guys who just put everything else together.
Exactly.
Like,
So for
that's
that
Ed.
and this dunk, Ed Davis, you get our shot of the week.
Here,
So
here.
there you go,
Cheers
kind
to
sir.
Ed. Here's to not vomiting.
Yeah. good
Yeah,
luck with that.
Dad.
Watch the face. Watch the face.
Oh man.
He holds it in. We
There
don't
he
know
is.
why.
Yeah, I definitely spilled
Gotta
all over
wait
my
for
beard.
it. Like, do you have to like get the?
Oh man,
There
look
it
at
goes.
oh, and there's the shiver.
There it is. There it is.
Oh,
God.
oh, and he's dying a little bit. His eyes are still clenched.
Oh god.
He's breathing through his mouth exclusively to try and get the alcohol out.
God, that was a
Was
fucking
it-
big ass shot.
Was that Fireball?
No.
No, not Fireball. It was
So
just some
side note,
straight up bourbon
he's also
whiskey.
had mixed drink shots that he's done the same thing for. He's had a Manhattan shot, and he's made the same face.
That was a
I like old fashions, by the way. I'll just put that.
He's also
Oh,
had an
man,
old-fashioned
too.
shot.
Listen, if you want an old fashioned, I'll
was-
muddle some up.
Oh, that was got to be some of the cheapest whiskey I've ever had in my life.
That is a cheap whiskey. That is my best whiskey I can buy under
I don't do
$20.
shots at all, So you're seeing here is like a genuine reaction. To
He's still reacting to it.
Oh, he
He's
is
got-
dying.
So when you say you don't do them at all, you do one a week. Then is what you're saying.
Yeah.
and he hates them with a passion.
Oh, I hate shots so much. I'm not the guy who goes to a bar and everyone's like, hey, everybody has 2 shots. I'm like,
Tequila.
nope.
I actually will say
So-
that
hey,
that's I feel
hold
that's
on.
wrong because
Isn't your birthday at the tequila factory in a week?
Yeah.
and,
but
and not only that, but I swear I have done more shots with you at a bar than I have done without you. Yeah,
Well,
I have. I
that
think
just
you're
shows you
lying.
what peer pressure does to me. So
Poor
I
life
don't-
decisions. We're all together.
Now, granted, when I get a shot, like my birthday last year, which got way out of hand, I had a lot of shots. But I also did shots my way, where I was like, okay.
So
Yeah,
you
it's
just-
for those of you on audio, which is most of you, he's sipping a shot glass or pretending to sip
Yeah.
a shot glass.
I'm
and cringing all the
I
way.
have no problem admitting that I'm a shot bitch. I know this to be true. I have nothing against it.
I'm gonna get you a shirt that says that.
Shot bitch. Yep. Jingle all the ways to my humping elves. Shot.
Whoa! Nobody said you needed to violate elves to be a shot bitch.
No. It's humping reindeer. I say elves.
Reindeer, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm saying elves and reindeer.
What the elves
I'm
do to
already
you?
drunk at this point, so
I mean, I've got an elf on my shirt. Please don't hump it.
All right. You know what? I think in order to reel this back in and get
That's
this
a good
under
idea.
Yeah.
and get this under control, Green, I believe you had some questions for Free Throw Guy.
and I'm gonna sit back and enjoy the roller coaster here.
Well, we've got a few.
right.
Though Brandon
keep
did
this segment
steal a little bit of my thunder. So just so you know, here we go. We've got a segment here this week. It is the Can We Get Free Throw Guy Off His Game? Because
Okay.
you, Mr. Rob, you made a name for
Guy.
yourself, Mr. Free Throw Guy.
No, Mister.
Mr. Captain Free Throw Guy.
the finger.
Lord Free Throw Guy.
Shoot. I don't have the fiefdom.
The surname here. Free throw guy.
You have made a career, well, not necessarily a career. You have made a name for yourself
I was gonna ask what that
By-
means otherwise.
by getting inside a player's heads.
Yep.
And when a player's supposed to do a thing,
Yeah. Trying to have them not do that thing.
exactly.
Do anything else.
You are the king of distraction.
That's basically what I tried to do.
So what we have prepared today,
Okay.
I've got a few fairly basic questions for
Basic questions. Okay.
you. Really
Is
basic.
the light on? Is the light off?
And I got Snapchat up for this.
Yeah, no, snap it.
We're
Snap away.
Snap it.
Oh, free throw guy.
He's free
We're
throwing.
snapping.
Questions.
Wow.
Nothing like
we
a
just
snap
lost
break.
all
So-
of our audio
Anyways.
listeners.
So here's the premise. I'm
Okay.
going to ask you a question.
All right.
Before you answer, you do get a few seconds, but during those few seconds,
You must make
You-
direct eye contact with me.
you could
With me.
you could think about it,
can
but
do
you've
that.
got to look over at Whitty there,
Okay.
and he will be reading to you
Okay.
quotes directly from the book 50 Shades of Grey.
Okay, great.
Does it look directly into your
All
eyes?
right.
Directly into your eyes.
And that's not just a play on the weather here in Portland, right?
That is not.
Okay.
Just our emotions. That's how we feel.
Though, isn't that book set in Seattle?
This comes from my soul.
All right.
So if I'm correct, let me just you're going to ask me a question.
I will ask you a question.
Simultaneously while I'm making eye contact over here.
And then as soon as the question's done, he will quote 50 Shades of Grey.
Okay.
Then you get to answer the question.
Okay, do I interrupt him when he's saying things?
No, this is my this
Yep.
is my distracting thing.
Yep. As soon as you just have to answer my question after he's finished.
Okay, when he's done.
Yep.
I
It's
answer
we're
your
gonna
question.
go person 1, person 2, person 3.
Okay.
So there's not gonna be any overlapping.
Okay, great.
It's just mostly a matter of can you remember the question after having heard the 50 Shades of Grey quote?
Okay, I think I'm ready.
All right. So
If he has an eidetic memory that we find out about later, this thing's gonna suck.
all right.
I heard he's a Rubik's Cube pro.
So if you die.
No.
Soon.
All right. So question. I'm starting really light here.
Okay.
If you were to die today, and a Blazer was to speak at your funeral, who would you like to have speak, and what would you hope they would say?
Firstly, I don't make love. I fuck hard. Secondly, there's a lot more paperwork.
God, you're bad at this. I'm gonna read these. You can't read.
No.
Reading's hard for.
Do you want to start with that again? Where were you? Do you want me to read it?
Oh, there he goes.
Okay, go ahead.
Firstly, I don't make love. I fuck hard. Secondly, there's a lot more paperwork to do. And thirdly, I don't yet know what you're in for. You could still run for the hills. Come. I want to show you my playroom.
Okay, so if I were to die today and a Blazer were to speak at my funeral, who would I want it to be and what would they say? I would pick Marcus Camby because he's my favorite Blazer ever, and I would just want him to talk about our interaction that I knew he believed in the concept of free throw guy.
Excellent.
Yeah. Like we would make eye contact. So like when Camby was on the team, like say I was doing the distraction thing and
This quote was really like sentimental to you too.
yeah, no, you picked a good one. Good
All right.
question. Like this I know the answer
Yeah.
to. So like when he was either in or on the bench, And even if the other player missed, he could tell the difference between me distracting him and him missing, or just him messing it up himself. So like when the other player would miss, but he didn't think it was me, he'd give me a head shake. Just nope. And then sometimes you miss and he knew I got him, and he'd be like, oh yeah. And then he'd give me the backwards hand, and I'm like, yeah.
Oh, I love his backwards hand.
I do admit I still give backwards high fives.
Oh, I do
time
backwards
to time.
high fives all the
So
time.
let me get this straight. So if a player would miss the shot in, he'd
Right.
always find a way to get it in the rim, and he would acknowledge you if it was your fault or someone else's fault.
Well, so like say Dirk Nowitzki shooting free throws, okay? If Dirk misses the first one and I was distracting him, but Camby didn't feel that Dirk missed because of what I did, just on his own, it slipped out of his hand, whatever, he'd give me a no, like, no, you didn't do it, man. You didn't get him. He messed it up on his own. But then if he was like, oh man, he was gonna make that, and you got him right at the end, he'd be like, no, you got that one. That's a point for you. And I'm like, yes. I mean, there was a couple interviews where he was like, yeah, no, that at least 3 points for free throw guy tonight. Like, you got to put him on the stat.
Oh, that's great.
Dude, how great would that be if you were like, if for some reason they put you on like local stat, like up there in like just the Moda Center, you had like free throw guy stat, like.
There actually was one. And they
actually ran it on Blazers Edge as well.
No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about like the actual like in-house.
Oh, in-house. No, that would be that. I mean, come on, don't threaten me with a good time.
That'd be pretty badass.
I mean,
No pressure.
I don't.
I mean, Rose Garden.
Like,
I mean, whatever.
Center of Moda.
Center of Moda.
It's right in the middle.
Center of Gardens.
Rose Garden.
That's the Rose Garden. Let's be honest, everybody.
No,
It's the
all right.
Rose Garden.
I've said that before.
All right, Rob.
Yep.
Here we go.
Number 2.
Your dreams come true. You're able to trade bodies with any Blazer throughout all of history. Whose body do you trade with?
All right, Woody, cue it up.
Just taking all my self-control not to fuck you on the hood of this car, just to show you that you're mine. And if I want to buy you a fucking car, I will buy you a fucking car.
Gets me every time.
Side note, car.
Okay.
I'm gonna read the next one here.
So
No, I got it now.
You're bad at the
I got a really sad answer to this one too.
Yeah.
I would actually pick Jerome Kersey because I think he's one of the most amazing people I ever
I
met
feel
in my
horrible
life.
about everything I just said.
And the reason I would pick it is because I would be willing to trade myself for him because I know he was such a good father, such a good dude, and just an amazing person for our community.
Man, that was way too heartfelt and way too
Yeah,
nice.
Sorry, but that's
I was
how-
hoping you would say Myers Leonard because I can make better use of those muscles.
The answer is Quintel Woods because I want to show a cop my trading card.
Do you know who I am?
Here it is. It's got my birthday, height, and weight, and everything.
Well, Whitland should feel bad about the quote he just said right at that point. So,
Go with Quintel Woods
Oh, okay.
or Ruben Boomche. I don't know which.
All right.
all right,
Next
Q3.
question.
Oh,
question.
wonderful.
We got
All right.
3 more.
Yeah. All right.
We got 3 more.
Great.
Okay. Which Blazer is your all-time favorite and why?
Inside me, I gasp. All the muscles deep in my belly clench. My inner goddess is doing the dances of the 7 veils.
This is my favorite segment we've ever done.
Well, I'm going to give you another answer other than Marcus Camby because my first answer would probably be Marcus Camby, but I'd probably pick Clyde the Glide because he was just a cool customer, and like never dropped off too much. Was just an amazing player, amazing ambassador. It's like he's the only guy who can work for the Houston Rockets, and yet we still love him.
Touche.
Yeah?
That's true.
Touche.
So I'll give you that. I'll go with Clyde on that one.
My
All right.
belly's still quivering.
Next one is a oh jeez.
All 7 of them in your
All right, so the
All
next
7 of the
question.
veils.
All right, so the next question gets a little more personal.
Ooh.
We haven't been seeing you at as many games. What's keeping you from free throw guying up
So
on
you
a regular
just
basis
slept
these
with
days?
him given him your virginity. A man who doesn't love you. In fact, he has odd ideas about you. Wants to make you some sort of kinky sex slave.
Oh no, that's
Speaking of
scary.
which-
So yeah,
Hi.
I guess I just haven't quite had as much energy. I'm a little bit older now, and I did free throw guy for 9 years at every game without missing a single game, 398 in a row.
Damn.
And the last 2 years, I just haven't had the energy. And it's not the wins; it's the losses.
Dude,
So
you have
like,
a better record than the Blazers. Do you know that? Like just any individual player.
oh well, yeah. I mean, yeah, because it was just so long.
Maybe
It's
Andre
just-
Miller. I mean, it might
Well,
be.
yeah, no,
Iron
Andre's
Man.
awesome. Yeah. I haven't quite had the energy. Will I be there for the playoffs? Of course. I mean, big games, yes, but yeah, I just haven't had as much energy. And again, it's not the wins. Like the wins, I go home great, but the losses go home just emotionally drained.
Yeah.
And it
Yeah.
was.
Do you still have the tickets, or do you?
I still have my seat. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, just
I-
singular.
Just sell it off
Yeah.
constantly.
No, didn't you have
if you ever
3
wanna
seats and
donate
weren't
it
you
to
selling
three
the
guys.
other 2?
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah. Now it's
So-
down to just the
Okay.
free throw guys.
I
You
bought
got rid of the
numerous
other
tickets
two.
from you over the years.
Actually, I have
Yes,
a
you
fo-
have,
I have,
yeah.
I have a
Yes.
follow-up question for that. Is there a Blazer Moda Center premium for that seat now? Like, if you were to give that individual
Can
seat
you
up,
grandfather it out?
would it go for a higher rate? Do you think?
I'll take your question first. No, the seat won't go for any more than it would.
I think it would.
Second off, if you actually physically go set all the seats down, that seat, which is 117 row FF seat 7, it's bent about 3.5 inches lower than all the other seats from me jumping up and down and yelling and screaming and just careening on and off of it. No, it would not have any other premium than the standard fuchsia rate, which is their.
You think it would?
No, I don't think it would have anything special to it at all.
Unless you
Yeah, so, like,
attach
weird-
the
weird hardcore,
the
like,
dildo
support
to
the
it.
weird
I feel like we need to buy the 3 seats next to you for one game
Yeah.
and like just wear morph suits or something
Oh, it'd
and
be
be the
fantastic.
free throw goons.
Can
Oh,
I
I
be
think it'd be.
Slender
I
Man?
think it'd be great. I think
I'll
it'd
be
be great.
Slender
Just
Man.
I'm on. Sign me up. I'm there. You know. And,
All right.
and
We'll
I-
work
gotta
this
keep
out
this involved
post
in
show.
your schedule,
All right,
so-
all right. So Ryan, we have one final question.
Oh,
All right.
We can't
Hold on.
rush the process. Okay.
Yeah, we also,
Okay, I was waiting. I thought you had something to add there. Can't rush the process. Pause.
No, he did.
Yeah, I did that.
Okay. All right, last question. Who is one player whose free throw you regret most not distracting?
He narrows his eyes, and I immediately stop laughing. In fact, he looks rather forbidding. Oh shit, my subconscious quells me in the corner. All the blood drains from my face, and I imagine him putting me across his knee again.
Do you have to touch his shoulder? Do you have to
Oh,
place your
man.
hand physically on his shoulder? When you
did he did?
I
That's part
went,
of it.
it's the final question.
Well, and
it's the final countdown.
And in fairness, I was not making eye contact at the beginning. So as soon as he had the hand on the shoulder, that
I brought
made
the eyes
sure
in. I brought
my
the
eye
eyes in.
contact.
The eyes up for
We
the chest.
locked that baby.
This is
in.
what dreams are made of.
Yeah. As far as a free throw that I wish I'd gotten a miss and I didn't.
I think the question is that you just didn't stand up for, or did you stand up for them all?
No,
I stood up for
No,
them
it's
all.
Okay.
a player.
Do I have to read my
or a
rounds
miss.
again? No.
God, who was shooting that night? Oh man, and it's okay. This is again back when Camby was here. Who? It was in the Dallas playoff series, so 2011.
In the Roy comeback?
It was not the Roy comeback game; it was the game before that.
Okay.
So that would have been game 3.
Yes.
of the series. So
Game 4 lives in infamy.
right.
They won in 11.
Game.
Man, who was shooting? Was it? Don't quote me. I can't remember.
Berea?
Who was,
Was it
it
Berea?
might have been Berea. It might have been Stojakovic. It might have been
Terry.
Jason Terry. It was. I think it was a guard. Anyway, Camby intentionally told the coach McMillan that they were going to foul the guy because I was going to get him to miss.
Wow.
And he's like,
That
no,
is
no,
the
no.
coaching strategy.
You don't understand. We're going to foul him right now. And he's going to get these 2 misses. We're going to get the ball. We're going to inbound it, give it to B. Roy. We're going to score and win. And I was like,
I love this
Okay.
story
I actually
already.
do feel as though that me and you have a fair number of Canby stories that we can share off the podcast. 'cause
yeah.
You gonna share more touch on the shoulder and over a beer
A
booth?
little bit of a rubbing.
Anyways.
And
When the blood returns to my face, I'll talk more.
So I got the guy. I got the guy to miss the first free throw, but we needed both of them, and I couldn't get the second one. The second one like rattled and went in too. And I literally felt like
I remember
my
that
entire
series.
thing of what I was doing with free throw guy was just like totally void. At that
I
point.
remember before that series too, because I think we'd taken them 3-1 during the
During
regular season.
Yeah.
And I remember, like, before
We
that
had
series
all the
started, saying, "Yeah, we can do this."
And I think
this will
the-
be the year we sneak our way into the finals
Exactly.
as a fluke, but we're gonna do it this year.
We're going to be the Dallas
me every
Mavericks
year.
8 seed that are
Like-
just going to creep right up on in there.
In my mind, I literally saw, and I think were we 3-6 that year?
I think so.
Yeah.
I knew whoever won our series was going to win the championship. Like I felt it.
I looked at
knew it.
that season, and yeah, I remember using a Northwest Passage analogy to a friend, being like, "No, there is a path of weaker teams that we'll be able to
You went
sneak
Oregon
our
Trail?
way
Yeah.
to."
You went Oregon Trail?
I went Oregon Trail.
If
I believed we were going to sneak our way into the finals against the Cavs that year and win.
if there,
Wasn't that LeBron's third year in the league,
Yeah,
second year in the league?
it was still plausible that we could beat the LeBron Cavs.
yes,
LeBron was at the Cavs in 11?
no, he was in Miami that year.
Was that
So that year-
It might have been the first year of the first year
First year
of
in Miami.
the Heat. Yeah.
So-
It's like
okay.
a no name in 11.
All right, so here's a fun story. So I'm watching I think it's game 5 of the finals that year, which I believe Dallas won. Oh man, what was it? Did they win 4-1 or was it 4-2 that year? I think it was just 4-1 that year.
it was a pretty good beating.
So
Side note, it was Miami.
Got
it
it.
was Miami. Okay. So Miami did win that year. Okay, so that means Dallas won the year before that. Is that
Wait, yeah,
correct?
because that was
Either
the
one's
year
the
they
year.
beat
Okay.
us was the
Yeah,
year
so
they won
yeah,
the
so-
finals.
Yes.
That was the surprise fluke Dallas
Right, okay, so
championship.
I'm watching the finals, and I'm standing there, and this is at the Nike headquarters, and I'm standing there with George Gervin, Ozzie Smith, who used to play shortstop for the St. Louis Cardinals,
Yep.
and Penny Hardaway.
I had an Ozzie Smith
And
card as a
we're
kid.
and we're there's one TV, and the four of us are watching the game, and it came down right to the end, and then Dallas won. And Penny clearly had the thing of like, because he had been playing for the Heat the year before, and had been like, man, I wish I'd stayed, even though we lost. Like, I think I could have made that difference. Now, granted, that's Penny, older Penny saying that, but I'm like standing next to him, and I'm just like, dude, why are you not at this game? Why are you standing here next to me? This is not like, that's the ice man. That's one of the best shortstops ever. Why am I here? You know, and like, what is this?
Somebody told me there were shrimp.
Yeah, there's free shrimp and cocktails. So
Some shrimp, eh?
Oh man, Penny Hardaway is one of the biggest what if players of all time too.
Penny Hardaway, T Mac,
Oh man.
Steve Francis.
Ooh, so I want to pose a random question as we're
Okay.
going all nostalgic. So tonight, the Lakers retired Kobe's numbers.
Both jerseys.
Eight-
Numbers.
24.
Numbers. And we kind of slightly had this discussion off camera, but what Blazer player do you feel needs to be the next jersey that's retired?
Brandon Roy.
That's where I stood. I
do
feel like
have
Brandon
one
Roy's a no only because of the time. We were talking
So I got a
Who
wrinkle
was your
to-
guy?
I got a wrinkle to throw in. You do know that Jerome Kersey is still not retired.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And as much as I have all the fond memories of Jerome Kersey through my childhood,
So
He was never an all-star?
My immediate thought was Brandon Roy,
Mm-hmm.
but I sell off of him because it's Brandon Roy was the promise that was never delivered.
Yeah. But
I'm gonna-
okay, I'm sorry, finish your statement. Sorry.
Sabonis is my number one for the next.
Okay.
Sabonis is my number one.
That
That's
actually,
not bad.
I would say no to Sabonis, but I would say yes to him over the other two guys. Like if
There's
anybody
not
else,
other two
there's
guys. I asked you, who's the next jersey?
my first gut check went Same thing as you, Rob.
B-Roy,
I
yeah.
went Brandon, and then I thought about it for a minute. And I thought, no, he's probably not a retire the jersey guy. And I would argue, if anyone is, Sabonis, because Sabonis is. I mean, he was potent and he was potential.
Yeah.
He was both.
Yeah.
And we
And
have the
well past his
potential
prime
and the
still.
wish and the dream and the same thing we had with Brandon Roy,
Right.
but he actually really fulfilled it for many years.
He did.
Mm-hmm.
It was just that he did it years after he should have.
Right. You bring him over in 87, you probably
And-
win in 90,
Yeah.
maybe 92.
Yeah,
You
probably
beat Detroit. You
probably
might beat
more than
Chicago.
that.
And honestly, the 91 team that lost to Phoenix, way better than the 90 or
Oh,
92
hell
teams.
yes.
Way better. And sorry, if you added Sabonis in 91 to that team,
Just
how do they not
Well,
win?
Right
yeah,
at
and
them right
I mean,
there.
you watch the Dream Team documentary, and
Yeah.
the Dream Team documentary is literally, we plowed through every single player, every single team, but that Arvydas Sabonis guy, man, he gave us trouble. Everybody else on that team, everybody else in the
that's
entire
Michael
Olympics,
Jordan complaining
whatever.
about a single player.
Yeah,
Right.
Arvydas Sabonis, fuck, that guy's tough.
That guy's good. He knows what he's doing.
But yes, that is who I feel
Yeah,
that
that's-
should be the next retired jersey.
That's a very fair thing.
Probably won't be. I think they'll go for nostalgia. I think Jerome Kersey will probably be the next. Brandon Roy, I do believe, will probably be the most decisive.
I love Brandon Roy.
We all do.
He probably should be, just because, if no other reason, the heart reasons. Like, when we were all ready to give up on the team, he gave us
saved
a reason to have
He
faith.
saves the team in 06.
Yeah.
Like,
No,
he
we
saved it.
all thought the team was going to get sold and
Yeah.
move to Seattle and
Brandon
disappear.
Roy will live on in infamy via all we have to say is Game 4.
Yeah. Game
I remember
4.
that game.
I remember
Extremely
exactly
well.
where I was at, what I was doing, what I was wearing, what I was drinking.
That is-
I believe we all do.
I got
I
more
remember,
high fives
I
after
remember
that game.
game more than I remember any other complete game that I've watched, like
Minus
start to
0.9?
finish.
0.9
The
included?
0.9, the last quarter, I will say, but as far as games start to finish, Game 4 probably trumps it, because I remember the amount of self-loathing and wanting to turn off the game that I had. My wife literally, we were living in an apartment at the time. Okay. My wife literally went to the other room because she didn't want to watch any more of the game, because why would we bother? Because what's the point?
We're down by, what was it, 23? I
Yeah.
mean, it was one of the worst first three quarters I've ever seen.
Yeah, no,
Especially
I
third
literally
quarter.
fast forwarded through most of the third quarter,
Right.
and I turned it back on because it started to look okay with about a minute left in the third, and watched the rest of the game because, well, at least that's not that bad, and I'd like to watch the game and not just fast forward to the result.
Yeah.
Only to be shocked and amazed, because I watched it on DVR afterwards, after someone had said, "Oh, you didn't hear about the game?" And, and I thought the guy was being a sarcastic asshole.
That is my one downside about switching from a Dish Network to DirecTV, is that so I watched that game live. I recorded that game and I kept it on my DVR with Dish Network for 3 fucking years.
Oh yeah.
Until I
Thanks to the internet, we have it forever. So.
until I met the wife and we switched over, and she's like, "I'm a DirecTV person," and she forced her way in. Which, hey, love you, wife. It doesn't matter.
Hey, Sonny, you're great.
Yeah.
We love you. Don't let his trash talk hurt you.
They
we
like
love
you more than me, honey. It's
all
the
those
only
notes
reason we're all
from his
friends.
phone, not
It's
from his heart.
listen, when we go to your house, it's for you, your cooking, and your drinks.
You do know I do half the cooking, right?
Yeah, but you don't cook when I come over. She does. Sonia, I believe in you.
Actually, I've cooked for 2 of the times you've come
Yeah,
over.
just shut up.
I'm
Come on.
I'm leaving. No, you don't count. Hey guys, so next week.
Anyways, so
Yeah, actually, I have one quick question.
yeah, the quiet man in the
Yeah,
purple
no,
suit.
I'm letting the flow go here. So do you think there is any other free throw? Or actually, are there any other free throw guys in other markets?
There's
And if so, do you connect?
I saw an old guy.
Yeah, so the old guy's in Brooklyn. He's been
Yep.
there since when they were in New Jersey.
the Nets?
His
Yeah, I've seen
his
that guy.
moniker's called Mr. Whammy, And so he actually has a seat that's down sort of in the corner. And in most other NBA arenas, you either enter or exit directly behind the hoop. So there's not seats behind the hoop.
Yeah, the center aisle kind of.
Right, yeah. The Blazers have a unique setup where it's corner entries. And so there aren't always seats behind the hoop. So he has traditionally, and before they moved to Brooklyn, always would just come down and try to razz the other team. So he's probably been doing it for 35 years, something like that.
Now, was he an inspiration for you, or
not
Or
specifically?
did you find out about him and you're like, fuck that, I'm out?
Well, I knew of concept, but someone in their 50s, 60s, 70s, and like the energy that I was putting to it were, I mean, conceptually maybe similar, but the applications were different. But that's the only other one that I know of in the NBA.
all right,
And he's still doing it.
man? So we've been at this for a bit. So let's try and let's
wrap this up.
Yeah,
so we got
let's
upcoming
next
games.
week.
So we got Spurs, Nuggets, Lakers.
So Spurs, LaMarcus Aldridge. So are we all
Also,
still?
Star Wars night at
Oh.
the Rose Garden. Because maintain.
So are we all still on team bandwagon? Fuck LaMarcus. Is that still a thing?
I've never been team
I
bandwagon.
still have his jersey. I have to like figure out. What
I've never been the fuck LaMarcus, but I do not respect him for the way he did the team in.
I actually have always loved LaMarcus. I mean, I've got his little Funko thing on my
Marshmallow?
amp behind you guys. That said, it's LaMarcus. He's always been remarkably
Head move.
okay.
There we go.
And there's the back of his head. And you just went straight up Exorcist with him. But how's everybody feeling about him now, 2 years out? Have we all forgiven him and moved on?
Oh, I've laughed at him massively because I very much feel as though that he went to the Spurs and he said, "Hey, so Tim Duncan's on his swan song and I'll take over for him." And does everybody remember last year's playoffs where all of the national media did nothing but just say, "So where the fuck is LaMarcus Aldridge? He has not shown up. He has not done a damn thing. He's disappeared."
Tony Parker injured is doing more. He's not playing.
So here's
This
the
is
thing,
true.
Like, Aldridge had a real shot of breaking the Blazers' all-time record.
Yes, he did.
And he
A
blew
lot
it
of
all.
their
He
records.
blew it all to go to the Spurs, get paid less, and there's no chance he's going to win a ring.
Well,
No
he's
chance.
taking home more money, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, there's
taxes.
no state
Taxes.
income
There's no
taxes.
state
Ah,
income
come
tax.
on.
The taxes actually equate to
Taxes
a wash.
don't deal with it. Like it was like
You
it was
want to
like,
find me an
There
NBA
is-
it was like
player who
$40
doesn't
million
care about
difference.
taxes?
There
He's
is
not getting
more
paid
money.
effectively that.
Yeah, no, there is more money in his checking account than there would be in Portland.
Absolutely correct.
But I'm saying like $40 million difference in his salary over the course of 4 years. Are you saying that
But-
he's going to lose $10 million in taxes staying in Portland?
Yes, actually, yes, completely.
Side note,
Yeah,
I would
Oregon,
like a $40
Oregon. That's
million
part of.
difference in salary.
Because as soon as you make over
Yeah.
$1 million in Oregon, your tax rate is at the highest percentage.
Yeah, and not only
Yeah, but I thought
that,
it was a
but
flat 6 after anything. I thought it was like it was effectively.
You're talking to a
taxed.
former business
No,
owner in
we're-
the state of Oregon.
yeah, no, the state of
Not in
Oregon
Oregon.
really hates millionaires.
Now, if they played over here in, say, Vancouver, it'd be a different story.
I have been saying for years, ever since the Moda Center was built, hey, next time you guys need an arena, I know a place where the land's a lot cheaper.
Yeah.
I know
I'm
a
gonna
place
throw it out
where
there. So when I was growing up,
Vancouver
I always thought
Trailblazers.
that when I was growing up until I knew better, which was probably until I was about like
Last week.
12 or 13. Not
Oh,
last
well
week.
done.
Fuck you. I thought the Vancouver Grizzlies played in my Vancouver. I didn't think they were a Canadian team. I was so sad.
Wait, when did you think this?
12 years old, so you're talking
Oh,
almost 20 years
14
ago.
years ago?
Oh, I forget how much older than you guys I am. Oh God, I need a drink.
age, bud.
I'm the young buck.
I'm pretty old myself, so
Anyway, moving right along. So
You're
the
not 40
Spurs.
yet, though.
So there's the Nuggets also.
I'll be halfway to 69 next month
Oh yeah.
on the 9th.
Hey guys, Will
That's
Barton.
what she said.
Do you guys miss him at all? Do you guys miss Will Barton?
Yes, I
yeah.
miss Will the Thrill.
I loved Will. Now, mind you, I hated Will.
was killed
but
by
I loved
Nate
him.
McMillan.
It's I always joked with my wife whenever he came out on the floor. He was Will the Thrill / Will the Spill.
Yeah.
It's you knew if he was touching the ball, it was either going to go gloriously well or gloriously awful.
terrible, yeah.
It was going to be.
This is gonna be amazing.
But it's
or
going to be
horrible.
epic either
It's,
way.
yeah, it's gonna be 1 or 10.
So in
And
my-
fuck yes,
I have,
here it
I have have a Will Barton story. So I was actually
Okay.
sitting in my section of the tickets when Will was there, and I remember.
Is this your humble brag story?
No.
Talking about his great seats.
Yeah.
He had
Will's
good seats
family
for a
was
while.
Better
sitting
seats than mine, by
behind
the
me.
way.
They're sitting behind, not anymore. But they were sitting behind me, and Will was on the court, and I was like, "Fuck, Will, get him off the fucking court!" And his parents were behind me.
Oh no!
Boy, why you got it down on my
I felt so bad. I was
And
like,
yeah,
I'm done.
and I would like to make this point to
Did
take
you
this
not
moment to
immediately?
notice.
Did you not immediately turn around and be like, "I'm sitting in better seats than your son provided you"?
Yeah.
That's not only is that painful, but I would like to take this moment to point out
Please come back, Will.
we've been at it for over an hour, and I noticed Rob, free throw guy.
Yeah.
You haven't said anything that would count as talking shit to any players, current or former. And
No.
yeah,
I mean, I guess I could if you want me to talk some crap about someone. I mean, I could tell you my least.
I mean,
favorite
I would
player ever.
assume Raymond Felton.
Actually, no, he's not my least favorite player.
Oh,
Oh no.
I'm
even
ready
close.
for this.
Not even close. My least favorite player, for sure, without question, is Chris Paul. I cannot stand him.
Okay.
That doesn't mean I don't think he's an amazing top 5 point guard. I do, but his complaining factor outweighs any of the positives that he does. He is. I call him Captain Complain. And he looks like Carlton, so I call him Carlton, and he hates it.
But he can't do the dance.
And I mean, I've said, I'm like, do I view Jay-Z worse because he's friends with Chris Paul, or do I feel better about Chris Paul because he's friends with Jay-Z? It's like I don't know where to go with that because
I'd feel better with Chris Paul because he's friends with Jay-Z.
I know,
I think
that's
Jay-Z
and that's
brings
where,
him up.
I know, and that's where I want to go. That's where
Yeah.
I want to go. I'm hoping Chris Paul's not dragging Jay-Z down. Is what I'm hoping. But he could be because he's definitely my least favorite.
Well,
player.
I mean, he's got a
Well,
lot of assists,
Chris
but does he
Paul
have
can't-
99?
Chris Paul can't bring Jay-Z down that far because Jay-Z is married to Queen Bee.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
And that's all the internet hate right there.
That's
if
right.
you
Oh
wanna,
man.
Yeah.
yeah.
All right, so last game of the week, Lakers. So there's this guy, something.
They play with balls.
Yeah, that's the one.
Is it Kyle Kuzma?
Oh, I thought it was
The
Ricky
best
Rubio.
Laker ever? Yes, I totally agree. That man is having a breakout rookie
Lopez?
season.
Larry Nance Jr.
Luke
Oh, boy.
Walton just roll Kuzma out there, and it's a win.
All right, guys.
I think the Blazers are going to win all 3 games next week. You
I
heard it
hope
here
so.
first.
I feel like probably 2 out of 3 is likely.
3 out of 3.
Is that where? Is
Out
that,
of the next
hold
3
on,
games.
hold on.
We were going to beer bet the Spurs. Do we want to
But-
go?
No, we're gonna go with that because Brandon is completely
No,
adamant about.
We got to
this.
stick with what we're going to stick with. Let's do a stat, not another 1,
I'm
2.
sorry,
I
you
suppose-
just come out the gate and you're like 3 out of 3.
I can proclaim it.
Oh.
'Cause you heard it here
You know what?
first.
Let's go. We were talking. We wanted to do a LaMarcus Aldridge bet.
Let's bring
bet.
it on. Let's bring it on.
All right, so LaMarcus Aldridge. Let's go. Let's do a fun one. Let's do the total of points plus rebounds.
Okay.
Points
For
plus
LaMarcus?
rebounds for LaMarcus and his game with the Blazers.
All right, so Brandon.
And Ryan, you were the loser of this last week's beer bet, so you got to be the first man to give us a number.
I feel as though we keep swinging on this. The winner or loser.
Yeah, loser goes first. Oh wait, actually, do we do winner goes
It-
first?
think
Then
winner
winner
goes
goes
first.
first.
Yeah.
Winner goes first. Okay, Brandon.
Okay. So it's points and rebounds combined, right?
Yep.
Yep.
I'm gonna do 23.
Great. I'm going 24.
Damn it! Come on.
Yeah, that's see, I had a thought. I knew exactly where I was going. I had a number in my mind. I was like, I'm gonna go
Going
either
Kobe, huh?
go directly toward that number. I'm playing game theory here. Toward that number from wherever you're at.
So points plus rebounds.
Points plus rebounds. Did you just look up the stats? Because fuck you if you did.
No, I did not, and he can vouch for me.
Did not.
Okay. So you got 23 and 24.
I'm gonna flip Kennedy. 32.
32. All right, we got a window. So we got Canada's got the low numbers.
That gives me 21 points and 11 rebounds.
All right,
and that is not outside of a statistical realm for LaMarcus Aldridge.
Great.
All right.
You winning on
So you're not necessarily we're not going to make you pay.
Okay.
We'll let you throw a number out.
All right. The first number that came to mind was 30.
30.
So
See, that's actually the number that
See?
came to my mind.
Okay.
And my thought was I was going to play game theory off of whatever he said first.
Okay.
So he threw 23.
Yeah.
I threw 24. Rounded up to the 30.
All right.
So
Yeah.
basically, I'm hoping for just a complete dump of LA. So if LA dumps, then I win by default.
Yeah, you
right.
win if
Yeah.
LaMarcus just sucks.
Yeah.
Which, mind you, we've all seen him do that, but we've mostly seen him not do
My
that.
reasoning was 17-6. So that was
And
my.
Rob, yours
But-
was 30?
30, yeah, but we only saw him really suck when it was like pressure, right? Like those last shots and like the big moments.
With the exception of Game 1 against Houston.
minus that, yeah.
With the exception of where he just
Like-
basically was
I
the
think-
best player in the
I
NBA
think-
for one
I
night.
think Rip City is going to be representing here. I think it'll be a constant stream of booze, and I think it'll throw him off a little bit. I'm hoping
Constant
so.
stream of booze. That
You know
sounds
what?
like our social
on
life.
that note, we'll wrap that show. So you know what? Hey, one thing I do have to say is that stay
paid
tuned.
to see Super
There
Blazers.
will be a couple of Facebook posts and Twitter blasts and some Reddit things. We're putting something together down at Rock Bottom Brewery.
Yeah, there
in
will be a
which-
live event coming soon.
In which you can come and hang down with the crew, and we're gonna try to get the reoccurring celebrities.
I mean, if
Oh,
you're doing
man.
something at Rock Bottom, please let me know. I'd love to.
Oh,
whether
we will-
whether
we
I'm
will
on
let
the
you
show
know.
or not, I'd love to come
we,
see it.
We
We'll
will
try
get
to
the
get
reoccurring
we'll
celebrities,
get some,
and
Oh, yeah.
it'll be a-
Bjornsson and Rop and some free throw guy there.
Yeah,
so.
and it'll be one of
I'd
those
be
things
excited.
where you come down, you mention our name, you hang out with us, you may get a free gift, you may get a free drink, you may
I like
get
beer.
free season
Man,
tickets.
you're throwing the
Who
word
fucking
free
knows?
down.
Or you might just get to pay full price for drinks.
Free season
the whole
tickets.
spectrum there, but
Is
you
it
know what?
free entry
doesn't
though?
matter.
Is it free entry to
It's
to
free
Rock
entry
Bottom?
there.
Yeah, okay.
Free
Yeah,
entry.
just show up and drink beer with us. Buy yourself beer, hang out with us. Good times.
But there will be details.
we're figuring that out next week. Probably won't be known. We probably won't have a date next
We'll
week,
let
but
you
the
know
week
as
after.
soon as we know.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
But
All
either
right.
way, you know what, guys? It's
There's,
always a good day to be a Blazer.
Yeah, 3 games
It's a
this
great
week.
day to be a Blazer.
Go Blazers.
Oh, that's
Blazers.
copyrighted. We can't say that.
Yeah.
It's always a beneficial day to be a Blazer.
And so it was a fantastic day to be a Portland fan.
Go Portland Trailblazers of the National Basketball Association.
Can I pee now?
Basketball team in the
I
Northwest.
gotta pee.
USA. USA.
I just gonna keep
Awesome.
talking until Whitledge has to go pee some more.
Right.
And thank you very much, gentlemen, for having me tonight.
Oh,
I
yeah.
really
Rob,
appreciate
thank
it.
you so much. Free throw guy.
Wait. I want to end the show on this note. So you're doing something cool tomorrow. So what is
Oh
that?
yeah, we didn't give you.
Oh
your
man,
ball.
that hopefully this will come up before tomorrow.
That's all right.
I'm
Tomorrow.
actually gonna cut out the crap before
Yeah,
this.
I've worked for a comedy show in Portland, a late night talk show for about 8 years, and tomorrow is our 726th edition of our show,
Yeah.
and it's a benefit for Dornbecker. So anybody that comes down and donates anything, every single dollar
Comes
we
down
get
to where?
to Dante's at 3rd and
Okay.
Burnside.
What time?
9 o'clock tomorrow
right.
night, and every single dollar we get, we're going to buy toys, and then every kid in Dornbecker will wake up with
Yeah.
a new toy the next day.
Oh, that's wonderful.
we
9
go.
o'clock Tuesday night.
Showing up.
Get out there. All right.
On that
Go
note,
Blazers.
Go Blazers.
Go Blazers.